Currently on your screen, you can see the space station from cameras on Dragon as it's approaching. And then on the right-hand side, you can see cameras from space station pointed at Dragon as it's approaching the space station. The vehicle is currently about 113 meters away from space station and will reach waypoint 2 in about 5 minutes.
Houston Station on Space Ground 2 coming through 100 meters. We still do not have the ISS camera view or the Dragon docking monitor.
Copy that, Jaws. You should have the ISS view. We are still routing the Dragon docking view. Realize we're approaching waypoint 2, and if we need to hold there, we will.
Okay. We still don't have the ISS view, but I can see they're working it.
Copy.
You just heard NASA astronaut Jasmine Mogbelli called down from the space station. NASA astronaut Jasmine Mogbelli and Laurel O'Hara are currently monitoring the Dragon cargo spacecraft from inside the station during its approach and docking, and they act as an additional person in the loop in case we need to take control of the vehicle. There was some chatter about her getting views of the space station and also the docking monitors. The CRONUS, or Communication Radio Frequency Onboard Network Utilization Specialist here in Mission Control Houston, manages the transfer of data and routes those videos on station.
And Houston, range is now coming through 60 meters. We just got the DDM view back. We still do not have the ISS view.
Copy. We're still working it. Jaws, question for you. Per the rules, we are go with centerline camera only. Is the crew okay with that?
Yeah, you firm.
Copy.
You can see a view of the Dragon spacecraft as it closes in on the space station, and it's just about 22 meters away, so it's really close to reaching that waypoint 2 spot.
Houston, at waypoint 2, Dragon will hold for a few minutes, and we'll let you know when we're ready to resume approach.
Okay, station copies, and we see it coming up on 20 meters now.
The vehicle has reached waypoint 2, and it's going to pause here for a few moments before it closes in for contact and capture. This is just to make sure everything is still good on the Dragon side and the space station side before we close in and complete the docking operations. Just before docking, you'll hear the call CHOP, which is crew hands off point, and this basically tells the crew not to send any commands at that point.
And station we see hold.
Copy that.
You just heard confirmation that the vehicle is currently holding at that waypoint 2 position, and this is the final stop, just 20 meters in front of the space station.
Dragon is on final approach and is go for docking. Monitor per steps 5 and 6 in 1.102.
Copy, go for docking and box 5 and 6.
Good copy. And for Satoshi, he can abort his monitoring activity. MLM looks good.
Satoshi copies.
You just heard that we have a go to finish docking. It'll begin its final approach. During the capture and contact, the capture ring on Dragon will interact with the international docking adapter on the Node 2 forward port of station to get the initial capture. Dragon's 2 sets of 12 hooks, or 12 total hooks, will then engage for a hard capture. Once we have that hard capture, there will be a vacuum-tight seal between Dragon and the station, which is called the vestibule. This will then be pressurized to match the same pressure as station. And then once pressurized, the crew will be able to open the hatches and begin operations later today to unload the cargo. There will also be a couple of umbilicals deployed to get power and data from station to Dragon, which will move Dragon into what's known as the acquiescent mode, essentially becoming an integrated piece of station once it's docked. Dragon is now within 16 meters of station and closing in.
Houston, from station, range is 15 meters. Attitude looks good, and it's in the corridor.
Houston copies.
Dragon is now about 10 meters away from the space station.
Houston station, 10 meters. Corridor looks good. Attitude looks good.
Houston copies.
The vehicle is now about 5 meters away from the space station, and shortly you will hear the call chop.
5 meters, same report.
Which is crew hands-off point.
Two meters, out.
Copy. Dragon contact and soft capture complete.
Copy.
Just heard confirmation of soft capture at 4:07 a.m. Central Time, 5:07 a.m. Eastern Time over Central Brazil. During this soft capture phase, the capture ring on Dragon is interacting with the international docking adapter on the Node 2 forward port of station to get that initial capture. Dragon's 12 hooks will then engage for a hard capture.
Ring retraction in progress.
Copy.